Hello students, we'll move on with the next topic, that is sequential access to array elements. So these also comes under your arrays topic. So PHP array. So in PHP every array has an internal pointer. Okay, every array is having an internal pointer which we can call it as a current pointer, and this current pointer will be initialized to reference the first element of the array at the time when array is created. Okay, so what we can say under this, in PHP every array will be having a pointer called as current pointer, which is initialized to reference the first element of the array at the time when array is created. Okay, we can use the function called as a current function to obtain the element being reference. So we said this current pointer, in the beginning it will be pointing to the first element, but as you reference the value will be the pointer position will be changing. So to know or to obtain which element is being referenced, we can use a function called as current function. Okay, so we will see an example here. You have an array called as cities. You have used the array construct and you have created an array whose name is cities, and in that values you have Hoboken, Chicago, Moab and Atlantis. Okay, so these are the values that is there in your array whose name is cities. Now current. So this current function, what does it do? So we said in the beginning it will be pointing to the first element. Okay, so here when the array is created, initially it will be pointing to which element? To the first element. That is, now that first element whichever is pointing to, that will be in your variable called as city. So now if you're printing the first city is, so what value will be there in your city? This particular first element of your array, that is Hoboken. Okay, so that is your current function. In the beginning when the array is created, it will be pointing to the first element in the array. Okay, so next we'll go to the next function. Current pointer can be moved. So we said initially it will be pointing to the first element. So this current pointer can be moved with the function called as a next function. Okay, which moves the pointer to the next array element and returns the value of that element. Okay, if current pointer is pointing to the last element of the array, then the next function is going to return false. So this next function is going to point to the next element in your array. It goes on moving to the next element until the last element of the array is got. Okay, so we'll see an example here. So following code produces list of all the elements. Okay, so initially current. So array is created. Array is created means in the beginning current will be pointing to the first element. That is, in the beginning city, this particular variable city will be having the value that is first city, that is Hoboken. Okay, then next function. What does the next function do? So currently it was pointing to Hoboken. This next function will make the pointer to move to the next element, that is next city, that is Chicago. So that value will be stored in city. So when you print city, you are going to get the value as Chicago. Again, while next Moab, so Moab will be printed. Again next Atlantis. Again next, when you go, you are done with the array elements. So then your next function will be returning a false value. So this is about your next function. Next function you have is each. So this each function returns two element array consisting of key and the value of the current element. So previously you saw current. What does current do? It is going to give you the first element. What does next do? It is going to give you, as the current pointer moves, so which the next pointing location, that value it will be giving you, right? So whereas next one you have is each function. This each function is going to give you the pair, that is key and value of the current element. Okay, so we'll just see an example here. So returns two element array consisting of key and the value of the current element. It returns false if the current pointer has gone past the last element of the array. So we'll just see all this with an example. So you have created an array whose name is salaries. Key values are Mike, Jerry and Fred. Keys are Mike, Jerry and Fred with the values 42,500, 51,250, 37,920. Okay. So we have used the while loop here. While employee. So here this is your variable each. So what does each function do? It is going to return two element array. Okay, salary. So in salary, what you have? You have Mike followed by 42,500. So employee's key. What is the key? Mike. That is stored in name. Okay, so this is for the first iteration. So key is Mike. So that is stored in name. And what is the value for that? 42,500. That is stored in salary. So what is the result you are going to get? Salary of Mike is 42,500. Again, go back to while loop. What is the next one? Jerry followed by 51,250. So the key is Jerry, value is 51,250. Next statement will be salary of Jerry is 51,250. Again come to while. You still have some data here. So Fred and 37,920. So the key value is Fred. Key is Fred, value is 37,920. So the salary of Fred is 37,920. Once again you are coming to while. Now in this case it is going to return a false value since you have gone past the last element of the array. So this is your each function. Okay. Next you have the previous function. So this particular previous function can move the current pointer backwards. Okay, and return the value of the element referenced by the current pointer after the pointer has been moved. So what does previous function do? It moves the current pointer backwards, and whatever value of that element that is currently referenced, it is going to give that value, okay, by the current pointer after the pointer has been moved. That is about your previous. Okay. So return the value of element referenced by the current pointer after that has been moved. Similarly, next one you have is reset. So current pointer can be set to the first element by using this reset function. So previous is going to bring backwards, whereas reset is going to make you move to the beginning of the array, okay, and returns the value of the first element. Whereas end, what does end do? Moves the pointer to the end of the array, returns the value of the last element. Reset to the beginning, end to the last element. Okay. Similarly, next one you have the key function. Key function, when given the name of the array, it is going to return the key of the current element of the array. Okay, so what is the parameter you are going to give? You are going to give the parameter as the name of the array. So that time what this particular function is going to do here is return the key of the current element of the array. So currently which element is being pointed, that element's key will be returned. Next one you have some function related to implementation of stack in array, that is array push and array pop. So what does this array push do? Array push takes as its parameter, as its first parameter, a name of an array. Okay. So array push, the first parameter is an array name. After that you can have any number of parameters. Okay. The values of all subsequent parameters are placed in the end of the array. First parameter is a must, that is name of the array. After that you can have any number of parameters which will be placed at the end of the array. Then this particular function, that is array push, what it is going to return is, it is going to return the new number of elements in the array. How many new number of elements are there in your array, that has been returned by this array push. Similarly, next one you have is array pop. So what does array pop do? Even this is going to take a single parameter, that is the name of the array, and it is going to remove the last element from the array, okay, and returns. The value null is returned if the array is empty. So what does pop do? Pop, again it is going to take single parameter. It is going to remove what? the last element of the array. Okay, and if you don't have any elements in your array, if your array is empty, then it is going to return a null value. Okay, so next we'll go to the next point, that is sequential access to array elements. So under this we are going to see about for each statement. Okay, so for each statement is designed to build loops that process all the elements in the array. So when you say array, you are having collection of elements, so all those elements need to be processed, then you can go for looping statements. So that is what we are going to see here, for each. So this for each comes in two forms. So in the first case, that is for each array, so you are going to tell the name of the array and a variable, that is scalar variable. Followed by that you can have your loop, body of the loop. Okay, the first form assigns each value in the array to the variable. So just take an example in list. In the array whose name is list, I have the value as 10, 20, 30. So what does this first form do? Assign each value of array. So in array I have 10, 20, 30. So it is going to assign each value of array to the scalar variable for each iteration of the loop. So what happens? List of 0, I have value 10. Then what happens? 10 will be printed. Again, list of 1, I have 20. So 20 will be printed. 30, like this. Produces all values of elements of list, that is your array. Next one you have is next form. So what is the next form? In the first form you just have a scalar variable. In the next form you have the combination of key as well as value. Okay, so that is the next form. The second form provides both the key and value of each elements of the array. Just see one more example here. So you have an array whose name is lows. In that you have MON as 20, TUE as 18, WED as